Hello, my friends. Yep, it's that time again. I'm back. Today we're going to talk about life, unfortunate events. You know, as men, you're not immune to disasters. You're not immune to diseases. You're not immune to unfortunate events that hit your life. And having a disability and actually living in a country that is extremely expensive to actually survive on disability benefits is difficult as hell. Most men end up on the street. One of the worst things that we have to consider as men is that next to divorce, our next biggest enemy is an accident or some health benefit that strikes us down. And I've seen this hit many men over my years. The majority of men that I know have had either strokes, brain aneurysms, heart attacks. You just never know when life's going to knock you down, guys. And you know, you can take care of your health as best as you can. You can do it all right. And one day you have an accident. But one thing you should do is make sure that you always have good insurance. Make sure you have a little backup plan. And if that doesn't work, what do? You move to the Philippines. And that is what we're going to talk about today. I had an old friend of mine who sent me this video, and he's suffering from a serious aneurysm that he had back in the day, and it really messed up one whole side of his body. And he sent me this video of a gentleman who has a disability that struck him down in America. And of course, he was left homeless because he just couldn't afford to pay the rent after the rents went up after COVID. And so I want to share this story. I want to share his story with you because he moved to the Philippines. And it wasn't really intentional. But you know what? I'm not going to tell this story because he's going to tell it. But before we go into the video, guys, please give me a thumbs up on the video. I just want you to do it now so, you don't forget as we get into the story, because that's what happens to a lot of people. Give me a thumbs up on the video, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you get me over on Instagram if you have a quick question. And of course, the last thing I'm going to say, if you want to book a session where you need to talk to me, you need an extra male ear with critical thinking skills, hit me up over on askanolderman.com, book a session, half an hour or an hour. Okay? So let's get into the story. Let's get in and listen to this man's story because I found it intriguing. I found it enlightening. I found it informative. I think he did a great job telling the story, even with a disability. And it coming from a channel that I've not seen before. And of course, I'm going to put the link to the channel in the description so you guys can go and check out the full story and check out this guy because he's doing some great work on highlighting people who are living in the Philippines from the West. And the name of this channel is Living Abroad. I like this channel because it's done by a gentleman who's going around and he's interviewing, foreigners in the Philippines. And I really commend him on the job he's doing. I love how people can get real with him and, open up to him. And that's important. So let's get into the video.
Prior to coming out here, I was actually homeless.
So where are you from?
America.
What brings you down here to the Philippines?
Really just everything that was going on in America. It wasn't necessarily the Philippines. Mm-hmm. I originally left America, I was going to travel some countries, but I have some disability comprehension issues, dyslexia and stuff like that, and I couldn't figure out. I was going to go to Africa first.
Okay.
And travel around to some countries, but I couldn't figure out some of the stuff, and I couldn't get a hold of the embassy, and there was like some scams and things like that.
Yeah.
And then I had heard about the Philippines, and I did some research on YouTube and such like that. And it's free visa upon entry, so it's easier to understand than that. Can't get scammed on that.
Yeah.
When I got here, I was just traveling the world, really. I was traveling, to countries where the dollar stretched further.
Of course.
Make my disability money stretch further, but...
Just a quick note. Listen, he's traveling on disability money. And that's not a lot of money. For all of you people who just think, oh, I need a lot of money to travel. It doesn't require a lot of money to buy a bloody plane ticket and stay in a hostel. Too many of you want to go and stay in hotels and get this flashy and the nice and the this and the that. Listen, when you travel, humble yourself, experience the country by going and living into areas where, It's off the beaten path. That's where you get the best adventures. I specifically admire this guy straight off the bat because in the middle of his plans, he changed. I was going to Africa. I ended up in the Philippines. I like this guy already.
Really past that, when I first got here, I was just wanted to see every country I went to. I just wanted to see the people, the customs, learn to laugh at a local joke, maybe learn a little bit of language. But the Philippines, they have like the 7,000 islands and all the different languages. So, you can't really learn everything. But
plus they speak English, which helps, right? So
yeah. Well, I was surprised when I got here that how many signs were in English, and I was like, okay, why is it? Then I learned that, their official language is, business language is English. Past that, what surprised me was just the humbleness of the people. They get up early in the morning. Somebody's, entrepreneurship everywhere. Somebody's cooking something, delivering something, giving a ride, going to work.
Is this your first time to the Philippines?
Yeah, this is my first time in the Philippines, my first time out of America.
Okay.
I definitely feel safer here than America. Like one of my family members, they're like, oh, the Philippines, you kind of get those different things where, as far as leaving the United States.
Guys, Americans, I'm just talking to Americans specifically. I watch American propaganda TV, and I can tell you, they almost scare you when they talk about other countries, because all you see on television is the bad things that happen in every country. But of course, they always make it feel like, but America is better. We're the best in America. But every country says the same thing. Oh, we're the best, we're the best, we're the best. I'm glad that when, and I'm going to use the term, when Black Americans get outside of America and their eyes are open, where he actually feels safer in another man's country, this should tell you something. This should tell you something, my friends. So for all of you who think, oh, America's the greatest, America, oh, we're Americans, it's amazing in America. You have to travel first. You all think that the West is the bee's knees. I'm telling you, it isn't. No place in America can compare to Dubai. None. Infrastructure, technology, low crime rate, the best healthcare you can find anywhere else, and the cost of living, the politics. You got to understand, if you think that people are freaking running to America just for the sake of getting a better life, a lot of these people just don't know about the rest of the world. America does a great job at propaganding. Is that a word? Yeah, I think it is. I'll check it out. Point is, very good job at marketing themselves. But I can tell you, when you listen to other people who have traveled, because I've been all over America.
Yeah.
But I don't feel stressed here. Don't feel, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing happened to me like that in the United States, but, there's shootings everywhere. Some of the locals, they talk to me about, some of
the political stuff and
the political stuff, yeah, but they talk to me about the way they feel. Maybe it's not as affluent.
Okay.
And they talk about like the some of the jobs and what they pay and things like that. I still believe it's better than trying to go to America.
Yeah.
But I try to tell them, well, America just shows you what they want you to see. You know what I'm saying? You don't see how many, the homelessness, people that are strung out on drugs and things like that. I'm not trying to get, Americans to bash me, but, you can't just deny it. You can't deny it.
Yeah, there's good and bad in every country.
Right, and then, the crime, you don't hear about, gunshots or people getting jacked. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure things do happen here.
Yeah.
Just like you're in America, you do want to have your situational awareness. You don't want to go places and do certain things where, you probably shouldn't go and do. Definitely the food. Definitely the food is definitely better. Not processed, it's not out of a box.
Yeah.
It's fresh, clean. I will say that I heard it before, and I can confirm now that the American products do taste different.
Yeah. Okay.
I can confirm without a doubt because I like Diet Coke. That's my go-to if I'm going to have a soda. So I'll have a Diet Coke once or twice a week, right? And the small little ones. But I remember traveling back through Miami around about 8 years ago. And I had already been living in Dubai for about 7 years. And I had a Coke in the airport. And I almost had to spit it out because it was sweet. Even the diet version of the Coca-Cola was extremely sweet compared to what I get over here in this region. And then I had a juice, and it just tasted really sweet. And I can tell you, my American brothers and sisters, you guys are being poisoned by sugar. It's rough. I'm telling you, you're being poisoned, and I can tell you it's one of the major contributors to your obesity problem. And it's painful to tell you that, and it's painful to see, but your whole society, your whole nation is being poisoned by sugar.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here since November.
Okay, so you've been for a couple months at least,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
I've been here since November. And I'll be here a little bit while longer. I'm actually going to be going back and grabbing my stuff, and making plans to pretty much move over,
okay, so you're gonna be here permanently, hopefully, at least long stay at least.
Well, because the thing about here compared to, you can't deny the dollar stretching is a benefit, especially to my, disability dollars.
Okay.
Well, one thing I will say, you gotta excuse me, my stuff.
No, you're doing really well. Actually, I was expecting this to be like 30 seconds or a minute, but you got a lot of information, and I'm excited to hear about it. So you get a lot more for your buck over here for sure. You told me a lot of stuff that you do like. Is there something maybe you dislike so far or you don't like?
I won't say that I won't say that it's a dislike. However, it is something to get used to. Like the first time I went to Vegas, like walking on the strip.
Yep.
It was my first time in Vegas, and people just like run into you, and such like that. Well, I do like here how they have like the lines for the elders and the disabled people and things like that. For Filipino disabled people and stuff like that. But like when you're walking, like I'll move to the side for an elder.
Yeah.
So they can walk by, and here comes this youngster, just they don't see they don't see that person, and they just like walk through them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But you do have to do a little bit of defensive walking. Like with the driving.
I was gonna say,
you definitely want to be aware of things. But honestly, I really can't say too much of what I don't like. What I would say for anybody trying to come here or just leaving the United States, the thing about it is that what you have to understand is that I would recommend not even making your cup half full.
Okay.
I would recommend just pouring out the whole cup.
I see.
Realize when you come to another country, you're not in America. You have to learn the local customs. You might be in America, you might have your way of things, but be slow. Be open to learning new things, a different way of life. Definitely do your research before you come, things like that. And I would say it would be worth it if you are able to be humble.
Okay.
And see the beauty in simple things.
The brother is throwing some wisdom, man. The brother is throwing some wisdom. When you leave America, when you leave your hometown, I'm not just speaking to Americans when I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to the Brits, I'm talking to the Germans, I'm talking to the Canadians, I'm talking to the Caribbean and the Jamaicans. When you leave your hometown, if you want to feel comfortable, you have to wipe your brain and realize that you are now in a new world. It's like driving a different car. Yes, you know where the brakes and the gas and the headlights take you a little while to find where each switch is. But the reality of it is that car is going to drive differently. And you have to realize when you switch cars, you got to stop thinking about the Toyota that you have, because now you're now in a pickup truck. It'll still get you the same places, but hey, man, it's a different vehicle. It's heavier, it's lighter, it doesn't matter. But I hope you understand my analogy. So he's telling you, listen, clear your mind and realize that you're somewhere else. And I'm sharing this to all you guys that are considering moving. You need to realize that you got to disconnect from your existing way of thinking and way of life.
Speaking of beauty, are you meeting any beauties over here? Are you dating any Filipinas? What's going on over there?
Prior to leaving the United States, I was one of the guys, I'm one of the guys that are considered, the nice guy, and, for the majority of what it seems like, women they don't want nice guys. They say they want nice guys, but nice guys are boring. They're lame. We don't have the excitement of cheating and you run in the streets and don't come home and stuff like that, And so when I first came here, I wasn't on any dating apps or anything like that, dating sites or anything like that. And it wasn't like I was opposed to dating, but it wasn't on my radar.
Yep.
I was just really traveling around when I first got here, I was just going to come here for maybe like a month or two and then maybe go to Vietnam, Singapore, Thailand, things like that, and just kind of travel around and look at different countries. However, my asthma improved when I got here, versus using my medicine every day, all day. I use it maybe once a month now.
Okay.
I have some disabilities in my torso and such, for my muscles and such. That's what you kind of see. That's been a reduction versus every day in America.
Okay.
Food. I'm telling you, it is the food, gentlemen. The serious amount of crap and chemicals. Sugar is the enemy. That's what this man is suffering from. Your food in the West, especially in America, is killing you all. The man said it. Reduced his medication significantly. I just love when I hear things like this, real feedback from others who've gone outside the Western Hemisphere and realized that they're being killed slowly and how they're actually slaves to the society. And I'm not just talking about the politics and the information. I'm talking about the food. Because think about it, man. What is the most important thing to any human being? And he can't survive without it. Food. That's it. And the one thing that's supposed to sustain us and make us go through to the end of life, that's what's under the control of massive corporations that are spiking everything with a massive amount of sugar and chemicals. Anyway, I don't want to go off topic. Let's listen to the brother.
But one thing that I was definitely would say, I was prepared for a lot. Like when I was going to Africa, doing my research, and already, being in America for decades, I've watched foreign movies and things like that. So I already kind of feel like I was cultured to an extent of different ways of life around the world. But one thing in Africa, they have the how they have the CR here, where they use we call it the bidet, and make it seem like it's so expensive in America.
Yeah.
It's just the water wand,
Yeah, the hose, right? You go wash your booty hole with.
Or if you don't have that, you have the bucket of water,
Yeah.
So I was prepared for that in Africa. So when I came here, it was no different. Just
see.
like the same way in Africa, they, or a lot of other places, they eat with their hands, Here, they eat with their hands.
So it seemed like you really
Yes, it washed the booty hole. On this side of the world, Asian and African countries, they wash the booty hole. And so when I hear about all these women with BBLs and they stinking and et cetera, all I'm just saying to myself is, why is it that these people haven't adopted just washing their ass? Why is it not a thing in the West? Don't get it. I'm telling you guys, it is the most refreshing thing. When I moved to this region, and I remember one of my friends, we had this discussions on skid marks, and no one could understand what skid marks was over here. And I said, well, everybody has skid marks, And he said, what do you mean skid? And I said, like when you, in your underwear, got some leftovers, If you scratch too deep, you're going to get some on the underwear. And he's like, no, man, I don't have that. Never had that. And I was arguing with him that we do. Everybody does. And he said, well, we wash. And when you wash, you kind of go in a little bit and you wash around with your hand. And I was like, really? You put your hand back there and you use your left hand. And every mall and every stall and everywhere you go, you got a hose. And I can tell you guys, it's the most refreshing feeling because, you're not only washing the booty hole, you're washing I wash my balls, everything, every time I go, right? I'm getting graphic, but it's hygiene. Everything gets washed every time I go. Nothing is sweaty, nothing is left for any amount of time. Yeah, never had a skid mark since I've been here. Yeah, exactly. I could wear underwear for 2 days, 3 days, no smell, because nothing gets, I don't do it. Let me get that. But I'm telling you, it can be done because nothing gets dirty, my friends. Nothing gets soiled. Yes, you got to try to comprehend that. You don't get it, but I'm telling you, it's a thing. So I'm glad that the brother actually discovered that in the Philippines, because they use a little bucket. I can't remember what the little bucket. I'm sure you Filipinos are going to tell me the little bucket that you wash your ass with. That I find difficult. That I experienced when I was in India, and I couldn't use it. But that's a whole other long story. Let's hear what the brother has to finish up with.
But one thing I will definitely say that caught me off guard is the women. I will say that
spill the beans. We want to know everything.
I definitely will spill the beans. I will definitely spill the beans.
Okay, what's up?
You know, coming from America, and I'm not saying, you know, all women, but I will say that us guys, we're not asking for all the extra hair and extensions and weaves and things like that, all the bat eyelashes, all the plethora of makeup stacked on top of each other, to the point where, you know, there's comedians that are making jokes now, when they take it all off, it's a whole complete different person. You know,
it is,
like identity theft. Like, where did that chick go?
Yeah.
You know, no good man, in my opinion, you know, that wants if he's a good guy, you know what I'm saying, he's not running the streets, he's not dating multiple females, things like that. No good guy wants his woman, you know what I'm saying, walking outside showing her goodies all like that, whether if he's fully saying it like that or not, you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
And when I got here, you know, women, they have their natural beauty, they smile, you know, and my thing is that, you know, if you're a man, you don't give a woman a reason to be upset. You know, it's kind of like how Bruno Mars made that song, you know, put a perm on your attitude or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get all dressed up, looking cute and all that. You go to the club and sitting there just to be mean, look mean.
Yeah, you're right.
For what? You know what I'm saying? Out here, you know, you run into natural beauty, smiles, easy going. Yeah, you might have to, you know, bob and weave to watch out for some, you know, to make sure you get a, you know, a nice one, just like anywhere else.
Yeah. Would you say they're more approachable in the Philippines, the women?
Yeah, I would say they're more approachable, more natural. Yeah, definitely more natural. You know, and you know, all around just kind of more wholesome, in my opinion. You know, when I came out, like this mall here is the first one. Cebu is the first one I came to in November, and what I immediately noticed was that when I saw moms with their kids, or even just women, you know, they look appropriate. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're covered. You know, I mean, and women, you know, in their dresses. You know, like, it's not just all these tight black dresses and see-through. I mean, they're just nice dresses. You know what I'm saying? Nice either sundresses or, you know, flowing dresses, things like that. But you know, again, the women. Yeah, I definitely see now where, you know, the passport bros, if that's what they want to say in that community, that they've been talking about, just, you know, leaving the attitudes and all the extra stuff alone in America and going to other countries where women are still used to wanting a man, you know, not from a country where, you know, you run into a lot of I don't need a man, you know what I mean? A lot of people, or I would say a lot of women, didn't like Kevin Samuels.
Oh, rest in peace, right?
Yeah, Kevin Samuels, the GOAT. You know, I would say that, yeah, he definitely came out talking about men first, you know, and he was like, you know, focus on yourself if you're, you know, but everybody wasn't in an uproar about that. You know, when he started talking about, you know, women and body proportions and size and what you bring to the table and things like that, now he's like the, you know, the devil, you know what I mean, to some women that were just trying to tear him down, but the things he was saying was real, you know. Now you get more and more women asking why, like I was watching this video on Facebook earlier, you know, women asking why are men basically saying no to dating, you know what I'm saying, just checking out of dating, you know what I'm saying. And this other guy, he answered, he was like, well, we've been telling you, well, let me just tell you straight, you know what I'm saying. You know, he wasn't trying to be mean, but he was like, he was being blunt. And you know, it's like this other thing where I forget who said it, but it's like, if a man
Yes, and it's a relevant point. And listen, I don't want to run this too long because I want you guys to go over to this gentleman's site and finish up this video and support him as well, because I think he did a great interview with this man. There's another one I wanted to show you guys, but I'll show you that in another video. But one thing I want to just emphasize before I close this off. Now, this gentleman went through a rough time with his disability. He decided to go and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to go out on the street. I got thrown out of my house after COVID because I couldn't afford to pay the rent. He decided to make a bold move. He decided to go to another country and enjoy life somewhere else where it's cheaper. So he gets quality of life for less price. Think about it. So he enjoying a life now. You will see as you go on that he's actually engaged. You think that this man would ever be engaged in the West? Possibilities are slim to none. At least not to any woman of means that would treat him well. Slim to none. He don't have the money. He will not have the money because he won't be able to get hired, right? So he's creating his own destiny. He didn't go to the Philippines as a passport bro. He was looking for life. He was looking for opportunities to survive as a man with dignity. He didn't want to be out on the streets in America. He chose to live somewhere else that was cheaper. I did a video yesterday on money. You guys have to listen to that video about money. I'm going to link it at the end of this video so that you guys can actually learn something about money, because my money segments aren't getting the attention that they should be. And this one was extremely important. If you have any desire to make it financially, it is worth listening to. Okay? All right. Just thought I'd tell you that. So I'm hoping, gentlemen, that you're getting lessons from this. I hope you see that there are other opportunities, not only to make money, but to also survive. Because he's going on pure survival, my friends. The need to survive. Because there's no safety net per se for men. They end up on the street. Yeah, they'll get a little disability, but after that, man, you're on the street. Your choice. Out on the streets, running from the druggies and the muggings and the gunshots, or go to the Philippines, Thailand. Stay in a nice little inexpensive place somewhere in the countryside. Find a nice woman, have a few kids, spend the rest of your life enjoying basic fruits of being an individual, being a human being. Okay? So guys, I'm going to leave it there. So I hope you guys got some good life lessons from this. I felt it was compelling and excellent for men. You know, listen, I'm not pushing this whole channel about high value man and the, you know, get the Lambo, etc. I am talking to the average guy. I'm talking to the guy that, hey, listen, I won't be that guy that's going to be making high six figures. I'm just a middle class dude that making an average income. You're my man. I'm talking to you. You're making it. You're surviving. You're going through life with good health. You're enjoying the fruits of life. It's not excessive, but it's a good life. I'm talking to you. Because the men above that, they have choices. Those men have exceptional choices. But that's not the majority of men or women. So, guys, before I leave, give me a thumbs up. All right? Let's have a discussion in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't, and book a session if you would like to have a chat with me. All right? So, until next time, remember, whenever in doubt, ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.